does better than any of the lines for Team Canada is they move the puck up the ice quickly, and they use all the ice surface. You saw Ronnie Ellis there. Even though he missed the pass, he's right over in his wing, and they make the long passes. And, of course, as I said earlier, there's not a hockey player in the game that can skate faster than a pass.
10:52 left in the second period. A 2-all tie. Canada 2, the Soviets 2. And Canada must win this game to keep their hopes alive of winning the series. A jamming session on the far wing there. The puck comes down on a three-man break from the Soviets. They carry it into the corner. Yakushev going back to the goal. Centers it to Luchenko. The shot is knocked down. Esposito cleared out. Here's Parisi coming in with Barnwaye. He passed behind him when he had a great scoring chance himself. It's up to Liapkin at center. Liapkin over the line, got rid of it. And Canada recover the puck. Parisi playing it to Lapointe, who's covered on the left side. It rolls back to Luchenko. Cleared to the wing. Here's Yakushev. The shot. Again, it was saved by Esposito. Canadian team shoot it down the ice. Luchenko taking his time to go back for number 3.
I have to say something about the goaltending of Tony Esposito. He has been sensational so far. He's made several key saves, and I'm amazed at the tremendous reflex and anticipation that Tony Esposito has. He stopped many very, very dangerous shots that looked from up here, Foster, like they were labeled, and he's got in front of them somehow.
Soviets playing every man up here. Mishakov is now at center ice. And they're throwing in the extra reserves. Vasiliev is on the right wing. He's a defense player normally. The puck is off to the side. Stapleton skates up with a long pass to Dennis Hull. It went off the stick. Vasiliev going back to get it. He's back of his own net. Soviet calling on the reserves. Up to center for Mikolov. Over on the left wing. The shot is wide. Back of the net. Mikolov trying to center it out. Bill White pins him to the boards. Canada clear out. Dennis Hull took the pass. Goes up. Vasiliev bodied him and stopped him. A return rush. Bishakov coming in on the right side with Maltsev. Slides to Tony Esposito. And it's carried to one side and back to the net. With Canada watching their moves here. Rattel failed to get away, and Bill White helps him out. Bill White shot one off the Soviet player. Ragulin got it back to his teammate, and it's called on the offside as the reserves come out again. 9:01 left in the second period. A 2-all tie, and you see Ragulin's patch from the last game. That's a receipt he received from Bill Esposito. Petrov is going to face off with Bill Esposito. Peter Mahovlich taking over on the left wing, and Bill Goldsworthy on the right. 2-all tie, 8:52 remaining in the second period. And it's a tight hockey game. Hasn't got quite the dash of the others, but it's still got plenty to it. It's taken in the corner. Goldsworthy shot it on the boards, but not out. It's intercepted now, carried up on the wing by Goldsworthy, who's coming in on the right side. He shoots! And a great save there by Tretjak there, who came sliding out about 5 feet in front of the goal crease.
A great Canadian attack here, and Bill Goldsworthy gets the puck. He's in good position. He's driving now into a good scoring area, and he lets a terrific shot. But notice how Tretjak came out and cut down the angle.
From the face-off, Bill Goldsworthy from the corner center to Phil Esposito, who's trying to get a shot. Houston had him covered. Finally knocked out to center ice. Bill Goldsworthy playing it back to Bill White. To Pat Stapleton over on the far side to Goldsworthy. And he just shoots it into the Soviet zone. Houston cleared back to Gusev. Gusev clears the center ice. Bill White brought it in, but it was offside as Goldsworthy didn't have a chance to get out and be onside on the play.
The Soviets right there, Foster, with that long pass caroming off the boards. They were looking for the breakaway pass.
That's Berkman there. Has as they get ready for the face-off. It's up to center ice. A 2-all tie, 8:06 left in the second period. Parisi passes back to Bergman. Bergman comes up to center ice. He's up there with Brad Park. A long, easy shot. Hutchak stopped it. Kuskin goes back to the net. A quick pass on the left wing. Soviets sent 4 men back. Petrov going in on the defense. Here's the shot. Bounced off Bergman. Another chance here from the side. Gusev centered to Mihailov. Back to the blue line. A hit a skate. Bergman played it out on the left side. Parisi coming down the left wing. Tried to center to Esposito, who was knocked in on the board by Kuskin. Here's another chance for Bergman, right in! And he missed the net by about 4 feet. Seemed to hook the puck. Esposito was mixing it up there a bit, and there'll be double penalties in front of that Soviet goal. With the score, Canada 2 and the Soviets 2. This is Game 7 from Moscow. Kuskin and Esposito off together for roughing at 12:44 of this second period. A 2-all tie. Bill Esposito and Kuskin, the defense player for the Soviet. A quick shot on Hutchak. He covers up, and another chance there. They failed to get a drive on the net. A 2-man break for the Soviet. Yakushev got a shot and was knocked over by Park, who tried to lift him right up on his back. Henderson covered up in the corner for Canada. So they're playing 5 aside, and the Soviets just seem to attack regardless of penalties. Face off to the right of Tony Esposito. All set to go. Puck goes against the boards. Here's a long shot, hit the stick, and Canada in possession. Park tried to play it to Henderson, who couldn't control the puck, and it goes right down and is called for icing.
Coming up at our second period intermission, we have a feature on how the television crew brings you these games. Bill Good will talk to Canadian Amateur Hockey Association President Joe Kriska, and of course Howie Meeker will be along with his analysis.
All ready for the face-off. Bergman takes it into safety back of the net, having a hard time getting away from Shadron. He still has it. Goes into the corner, failed to shoot it away. It's centered out, and it goes down off the boards, with Luchenko being forced to really move fast. Eric Clark followed in, but was offside, obviously, on the play.
With 4 men each on the ice, of course, it's a big ice surface, you've got more room. The idea is to spread out the play so that when you do get the puck, you have a lot more room to make a move on it. Here's a look at some of the Canadian fans and getting a bit of a back rub there to get ready for some more cheering.
1:15 left in the penalties as the puck goes from the face-off into the Canadian zone. Savard over to Lapointe. Canadian team trying to get organized here to get that puck out. It's cleared over on that far wing. Lapointe goes up with a pass to Rattel to Lapointe. Lapointe centered it. No one was in close enough. Bill Goldsworthy cleared it back. Here's a shot by Lapointe that went away wide. Sagankov is covering Goldsworthy. The two of them scuffle on the boards. Nothing really happened, but you hear the reaction of the crowd, the real old-time whistle.
I see that Goldsworthy in all of this game, and he's playing very well up till now. Goldsworthy has gotten a lot cooler in this type of hockey. He's relaxed now. He's not quite as chippy as he was in those first few games that he appeared in.
2-all tie as Rattel gets ready for the face-off. He got the draw. Goes into the corner. Sagankov covered him. Soviet bringing that puck out to center ice. Maltsev going up over the line, taking a shot. It's wide of the net. It's in the corner of the Soviets trying to get it back to the blue line. They do. Maltsev takes the pass, trying to cross in front, left it there on a pass, and Maltsev nearly got Lapointe's goat there, and he was going to go after him. Maltsev back of the Soviet goal. Lobbed one in front of the net. Vasiliev starting back with a pass before he could hardly move. Sagankov at center ice over the blue line. Here's a shot, and it bounced off Esposito's glove way up over the screen into the crowd, and now both teams likely make a change, certainly the Soviets are, and it's a 2-all tie with 5:17 remaining in the second period.
I'm continually amazed, Foster, at how well the Soviet players slap the puck. 3 years ago, they didn't slap the puck nearly as often as they do now, but when they let one go, it's as hard as any shot in hockey. And that particular one there, Tony Esposito couldn't catch that puck cleanly. He was lucky he even got his glove on it.
1 second left in the 2 penalties, and both players are standing at the penalty box. They have the gate open. Now the Soviet player sits down. That's Kuskin. And Phil Esposito still standing up. Face-off will be in the Canadian zone to the right. Clark facing off with Petrov, number 16. Mihailov is 13. Klinov is 9. Over on the far side, Parisi, Phil Esposito is on. They're both on, and the teams are at full strength. Cornwallier replaces Clark. Back comes the Soviets, broken up by Cornwallier. A quick pass to Phil Esposito going in, he shoots! And his quick pass went high, a rising shot. He didn't get much chance to get that one away cleanly. But Jack cut that one with Phil Esposito, mixing it up again with Kuskin. Petchak is skating around there. 4:51 left in the second period. A 2-all tie. Canada 2, Soviet 2. Back to the blue line. Bill White took his shot. It hit a dart. Parisi is mixing it up. And Kuskin, who seems to be in a battling mood, dropped his stick finally. And now they're shoving each other at every opportunity. With the score, Canada 2 and the Soviets 2. This is Game 7 from Moscow. Parisi and Kuskin are put off together after that scuffle and quite an argument in front of the Soviet goal. The penalties are coming thick and fast. Gilbert got the first one of this period, then Parisi, followed by Anderson, Kuskin, and Esposito, and now Kuskin and Parisi. The Soviet coming down with Yakushev down the right wing, and he failed to get over the line. There's going to be another penalty call against Canada for hooking. Petchak was headed for the bench. Pat Stapleton is getting the penalty. And for the first time of the game, Canada will have 2 men in the penalty box. Parisi and Stapleton. The referees are a little worried right now that this game is going to get out of control, so they're clamping down. And of course, Team Canada now is at a distinct disadvantage with 2 men off because the Soviets need a goal to go ahead, and they're going to really be pressing now with this advantage. An obvious hooking penalty. Face-off is going to be outside the Canadian line. 4 men to 5, and with Bergman going back to get it, trying to shoot it away. It's stopped by Luchenko. A pass to Lyapkin. Back to Luchenko. Luchenko, number 3, over to Lyapkin. A shot hits the Canadian player. It's in that corner. The Soviets still keep that puck, passing it around. There's a shot by Luchenko. Oh, what a save that was by Esposito. Yakushev into the corner. They still have that puck. Back to the blue line. Now to Luchenko. The drive hits Bergman's stick, but they get it again. Shadron. Pass to the blue line. Back to Shadron. Shadron trying to make up his mind where he'll pass it. There's Luchenko's shot. It hit Hart. He lost it and comes back to Shadron, who kept it in. They drive it near the goal. Yakushev centers it back. It's to the near the blue line, but they still jiggle that puck all over as if it's on a string. It's again a pass over on the far side to Luchenko, who lost it. Bill Esposito finally recovers, goes down himself, goes over the line, knocks the defense player over, but couldn't get any farther. Return rush by the Soviet. Yakushev overskated it, gets it again in the corner, passes back to the blue line. Sagankov shoots. It's right near in front there as Esposito took the rebound, brings it back. He's trying to kill off this double penalty. It's knocked over the line. Bergman broke it up, and Phil Esposito really golfed that one, and Bergman knocked it the rest of the way. Petrov coming up. Now the team, now Canada, just a man short. As the puck comes over the right wing, 2:40 left as Parisi dumped a pass, and it's shot down the ice. Pat Stapleton is on. The teams are at full strength. So Canada weathered that siege, playing 4 men to 5. Parisi is in the corner for Canada, jammed on the boards, and they're really roughing it up every opportunity. Back in front of the Soviet goal, Dugankov made a long rink-wide pass to Blinov. Blinov is forced back, number 9, comes up at center. Henderson made a run at him, but Ellis fell and tried to avoid him. Blinov turns with Mihailov. Mihailov into the corner, number 13. The pass came right in front to Gankov for the Soviet, ahead to the blue line. 3 men come up, Petrov at center. Over the line, a pass back to Blinov. Blinov getting in with a shot, and it's caught by Esposito, who grabbed that with his glove while on his knee, and it appeared to be just off the target, and the reserves coming out again.
Just a reminder to hockey fans at home viewing these games, you can participate in voting for the most valuable player on Team Canada by sending the name of your choice to Box 5050 in Toronto, Montreal, or Vancouver. The winner is selected by the fans who receive the Labatt Best on Ice Award. Ballots are available from any Labatt representative.
The Canadian team recover from the face-off, carrying it down that far wing. Savard centered in front, but Henderson couldn't get in close enough to get a shot. There's a shot in front of the goal. Henderson trying to deflect it, as here's a jamming session with Vasiliev getting a jolt from Ellis, with Henderson being knocked over by the Soviet player, and they nearly started a flare up there, and it wouldn't take very much to really cause a real Donnybrook in this game. They're getting chippier every minute. 1:19 left in the second period, a 2-all tie. Canada 2, the Soviets 2. Nikolov failed to get away. Gusev goes down the far side to Nikolov, who's checked at the Canadian blue line. Canada played that puck out, Clark, but he couldn't go any farther. Now they're hitting each other with everything. Another try for Maltsev, and he's wrong as he tried to barge through the Canadian defense. Carried down this left side, a heavy jolt. Henderson right in, and Ellis tried to get the pass, but is too far in on the play. Soviets come right back. Long pass to Mikolov. He did the clear. Right in the goal. Oh, that was a great chance there for Mikolov, and he shot it high over the Canadian goal. Back come the Canadian team on a wild rush that failed to get very far. Savard at center ice, twisting and turning, falls. The Soviets get a man loose. Here's Anderson coming in, and it's called on the offside after Stapleton had stopped the shot. 22 seconds remaining in the second period, a 2-all tie. Canada 2, the Soviets 2.
In that last minute or so, the play opened up as wide as probably any that there's been. The plays back and forth, a lot of heavy hitting, as we can see.
Nothing but penalties in this second period. Gilbert for Canada first, then Parisi for Canada, Anderson for the Soviets, Luskin and Esposito together, then Luskin and Parisi, and finally Stapleton. On the face-off, Canada gets a draw. Couldn't get past Strutter. Parisi tried to pass to Esposito, but he was offside on the play.
I think one of the reasons that Esposito and Parisi have had so many run-ins with Kuskin is that they definitely respect Esposito's ability in front of that net. And of course, Parisi is the man who's trying to get him the puck, so they're giving extra attention to Phil Esposito and Jean-Paul Parisi.
From the face-off, Yakushev finally grabbed the puck at his own blue line, lobbed it ahead. No one was there. Bill White tried to play it past the Soviet player, lost it, and then the Yakushev overskated the puck, and the siren went to end the period. All the scoring has been in the first period. At 4:09, Esposito from Ellison Park. At 10:17, Yakushev from Shadron. At 16:27, Petrov, while Bill White was serving a penalty. And at 17:34, Esposito getting his second goal from Savard and Parise. No scoring in the second period. With the score, Canada 2 and the Soviets 2. This is Game 7 from Moscow. Teams now are getting ready for the start of the third and last period. It's a 2-all tie, all the scoring in the first period. Esposito getting 2 goals for Canada. Yakushev and Petrov scoring for the Soviets. In the first period, Canada outshot the Soviets 9-6. There were 6 penalties, 3 apiece. In the second period, 8 penalties. Canada had 5 of them. Soviets had 3. And the Soviets outshot Canada 13-7, but there was no scoring. The shots a total in the first 2 periods, the Soviets 19 and Canada 16. Now we're all set. The Soviets to our right, Canada to the left. Clark, Henderson, and Ellis starting for Canada. Mishkov is starting at center ice for the Soviets, and it's cleared over the line. Sagankov shot it out. Mikolov is watching his man. It's cleared over on this right side to Ellis, and he failed to go through. It's back at center ice again on a slap against the boards. Baltsev tried to go in. Clark blocked him. Here's Mishkov getting a shot, and it hits Savard, and it's up to center ice for Henderson. Ellis rushing in back of the net. Vasiliev after him. It's grabbed off by Henderson. Henderson coming in front. Here's a shot, and the drive went by. Savard is waiting at the blue line. Here's another chance, a shot, and it bounced off the body and went wide as Ellis let it go. Baltsev carried it right back, number 10 for the Soviets, stopped by Savard. Savard lobbed it ahead to Ellis, now to Clark. Clark at center to Henderson. Henderson just couldn't reach that pass and was against the board. It bounces out to Baltsev. Cleared to center ice. And Mishkov cleared over. Here's Mishkov getting right in. And Tony Esposito held his ground on that tough one. The puck is shot back into the Soviet zone. It'll be called for icing on a change of players. A 2-all tie. They played a minute and a half.
Well, during that intermission, we heard a lot of opinions on how Team Canada should play this third period, so I might as well throw in mine. I firmly believe that Team Canada can win this game if they play sound defensive hockey for the third period and wait for their offensive chances out of good, solid defensive hockey. If they play 20 minutes holding the Russians in check, they might get the chance to win this game.
From the face-off, the puck went flying from the face-off to the corner off a leg. It's still in there, though. Mihailov took a shot, covered by Esposito on the short side. Bill White going into the corner, watched by Blinoff. Dennis Hull cleared it up to center ice, and Petrov is now back into his own zone. Dropped the pass. The Soviet attack. Gustin cuts back again, number 4. Gusev is with them. Tapped it over on the far side. They move again at center ice. Bill White broke that up. Rattel drives it into the Soviet zone. Dennis Hull tears in after it. And it's grabbed off by Gilbert right in front of the net. He passed instead of shooting. And Rattel couldn't get it. Now Gilbert again. Gilbert came up with the shot. Scored for Canada. Gilbert got that puck off the board. Came right around his spot and was in the net.
A good play behind the net here by Team Canada. Rod Gilbert stepping out from the corner. Now watch Tretjak. He's well back in the net. He has to make a move. Rod Gilbert lets a good backhander go right between his legs. A good goal. The play starts to develop here. Team Canada dumps it in and chases it. All important. You have to chase the puck. Now Gilbert misses it, gets it right across. So Gilbert's parked himself behind the net. It comes right out to him, and he buries the backhand right between Tretjak's legs.
Now they're underway with the puck at center ice. Canada leading 3-2, and they took a while to put that up on the board. Well, there's no question about Gilbert scoring, and Rattel Wesley would get one assist at least. But they have some odd ideas about assists in this game. Puck is at center, cleared over on the line. Yakushev couldn't get clear. Esposito takes it in back of the net, and Canada clear the puck out at center. Liapkin going back to get it. Liapkin is going all the way back, passing to Yakushev. Yakushev in back of the net, crossing over on the right side. Pulled away from Parisi. Cornwallier shot it back, trapping his teammate in there, and it's called on the offside. Canada now leading 3-2 with 17 minutes and 3 seconds remaining.
Well, Foster, I was just informed that a lot of Canadians are going to be surprised when they walk outside the arena tonight. It is now snowing in Moscow, so they've gone from a record heat spell a week ago to snow tonight, and I think we've bypassed the fall.
From the face-off, Cornwallier got his stick on that puck. Now it's over the line, and the Soviets play it safe, going back to their own defense over to Yakushev, who couldn't control it. Park across to Bergman, over to Parisi, gets it back to Bergman, and the Canadian team passing that puck around quite a bit. Puck comes to center ice. Yakushev going in on that wing. Bergman grabbed him, and he seemed to haul him down on the play. Looks like a penalty coming up to Bergman for holding. With the score, Canada 3 and the Soviets 2. This is Game 7 from Moscow. Bergman is off for holding at 3:26, and they dropped the puck, and then they have to do it all over again. Both Rattel and Dennis Hull were in on that scoring play by Gilbert at 2:23. Whether the two will get assists, it's hard to say, but they were the ones responsible, as Gilbert tucked it home coming in from back of the net. Now the Soviets have the odd man advantage, and it comes back to Liapkin at the blue line. He faked a shot, cleared it on the left wing to Yakushev, clearing to the side of the net, rolled off to the wing. Maltsev took a swing at the pass and shot wide. The Canadian team finally cleared down the ice. Pat Stapleton driving it down. Phil Esposito and Peter Mahovlich out there to kill the penalty. Soviets coming again. Yakushev down that right wing at center. Shadron is trailing with Maltsev, who's going in. Is rolling in front of the net. It's close. Liapkin tried to drive it. It hit a body. The Soviets coming close. Make a shot. It hit the Canadian player. Brought out. On the right side with Phil Esposito from Park. A shot is deflected against the screen. And Canada had a few close calls around the net. They're still a man short with Bergman off. Yakushev is stopped. Phil Esposito grabbed that puck after Park took his man out. Phil Esposito's ragging that puck. Fell on the play when Liapkin fell on top of him. Back come the Soviets. Shadron got to the line, was stopped. Esposito cleared it out. Liapkin tapping it back to Lachenko. Lachenko over to Maltsev in the corner. Maltsev trying to center it back to Lachenko. Takes the shot. Here's Liapkin getting a shot, and it went just off Esposito's leg. They still keep it in. They're keeping that pressure on. Lachenko takes the shot. Backs up to the blue line. Cleared it to the corner. They're still zigzagging around. Here's the shot. They score! Yakushev standing on the side of the crease. Knocks the puck into the net, and the Soviets have tied it up. Yakushev from Maltsev.
The Soviets have good puck control on this power play, and they get Team Canada running around a little bit. Yakushev parks himself right to the far side of the net in the goal crease. The pass comes right across the goal mouth. Alexander Yakushev has his second goal of the night. You can see Yakushev. Now he moves over right in front of the goal crease, and bingo, right up into the net.
That goal, Yakushev, who's standing right off the edge of the goal crease, from Maltsev, who dug it out to the corner, 5:15, and it's a 3-all tie. The puck is in the Canadian zone. That penalty cost Canada a goal. That's the second Soviet goal, while Canada's been a man short. So their power play is paid off for 2 goals in this game.
It's absolutely imperative that Team Canada stay on the ice for the rest of this game. There's no question that the Soviets definitely have an advantage when they've got that power play going for them. They've scored a lot of goals
Canada
in the series.
Savard going in on the right side is grabbed that time by Petrov, turned around. Ellis trying to center, did. Then a shot bounded off a Soviet body, goes out to center ice, cleared over the Canadian line, and Canada dumped it, or tried to, and it hit Reese Stick, who's sitting on the Canadian bench. A 3-all tie. Yakushev from Maltsev at 5:15 of the third period with Bergman on. There's the one of the referees, Rudolph Babbitt. From the face-off, the puck comes to the blue line. Here's a pass right in front of the goal. And Mikulov was unable to get near it. He goes to the boards, lost it. The point tried to clear it out. The Soviets take over. The shot hit a leg. And the goal by the Soviets to tie the score seems to have the Canadian team a bit on the run. They haven't settled down yet. Mishikov is now at center ice, number 12 for the Soviet. Mikulov is on the right wing. And Maltsev is on the left. Ragulin and Vasiliev, the defense playing up. Puck rolls at the defense. Clark cleared it out at center ice. Vasiliev shot it right back onto Goldsworthy's stick. The pass hits Mishikov, who bears down with Mikulov going in ahead of him. Mikulov went back to the net, nearly went down. Tried to pass back to the blue line. Ragulin shot it into the crowd. Ragulin, number 5. The sturdy defense player for the Soviets. And again, the reserves come out. A 3-all tie. 13:24 left in the third period. But they'll change at the 10-minute mark. They'll change ends as they usually do in international hockey. They play 10 minutes each way. Shadron is now at center with Yakushev on the left wing. Yakushev has been a constant threat. Over to Dennis Hull, who's out there with Rattel and Gilbert. Down the wing for Hull. On that left side is Rattel. Fired a shot. Gilbert went after the rebound, couldn't get it. Hull's shot went right off Tretjak's leg, and the Canadians came close on that. Bill White kept the puck in there, but Gilbert is offside. Didn't have a chance to get in to the center area.
This game appears to be opening up a lot more than it has in the first two periods, and Team Canada is going to have to stick a little closer to their checks. They can't afford to send two men into forecheck. On that last series, they got trapped in the Soviet end, and one man scrambled back just in time.
3-3 tie as a long shot goes to Tretjak, who just saw that in the last moment. Cleared on the boards. Klinov playing it back to Kuzkin. Kuzkin 4 at center. Shoots it into the corner. Back of the net. Klinov rushes in, but is beaten to the puck. Bill White lost it, and a save there on Mihailov on a Canadian error. Here's a jamming session, and Gilbert and Klinov seem to be mixing it up against the boards there. Gilbert's number 8. That means further penalties. There's Gilbert, who's in on that scuffle. Bobrov is getting the strategy starting to work. They've been able to capitalize on 2 Canadian penalties. Gilbert hasn't gone off yet, but he will. Well, that's the second Canadian penalty of the third period. Gilbert now going into the penalty box for Canada. And the Soviets will have the offhand advantage again, having scored 2 goals that way already.
That could be a very costly move by Rod Gilbert, because, of course, that check into Mihailov along the boards there behind the net was after the whistle.
They called it charging. Seemed more like roughing on the play. 7:25 was the time of the Canadian penalty. The face-off in the Canadian zone. Here's Gusev getting a chance, passes to the corner, and right in front of the net, went right across to the side. Peter Mahovlich failed to drive it away. It's still in there. Vasiliev clearing it back, and Blinov, who's lost his helmet, fires it into the corner. Petrov is trying to find an opening. Still goes back and forth. Number 16 faked the pass. It hit Bill White. It rolled to the Soviet player left there, and it's not cleared again. Soviets recover. Back to Gusev. Here's the shot. It rolled in front. Another chance. Petrov centered in front. A scramble. They're all around the Canadian goal. Knocked off to the corner where Vasiliev shot it back to the net. Petrov knocked it to the other side. Still have the Canadians chasing after them there on these passing plays. There's a pass coming right back to Petrov. He faked the shot. Nearly lost it. It went to the blue line and out. And the pressure is now off the Canadian team for the moment. 52 seconds left, or rather 58 seconds left in the penalty. Harry Sinden, that's if he wants to get out there to play.
I think what Harry Sinden was upset about there is the fact that the Soviet player did go over the blue line and he wanted the puck to go all the way down to the other end.
From the face-off, Canada still a man short. The puck is shot over the Canadian line. Waltsev going in back of his goal. Forced to the far side, getting it back to the blue line. Here's a shot, and it has trickled wide of the net on a deflection. It rolls to the side. Peter Mahovlich shot it out. Went off the Atkins stick. Yakushev cutting over on the right wing with Shadron now at center. Over to Maltsev on the left side. That's passing play again. Here's a pass in front. Yakushev shot that one. Esposito tried to clear, finally shot to the side. The Afghan has it now on the board. Here they come in. Yakushev coming in front of the goal. Passes over the blue line. A shot. It went wide. And Esposito not getting too much protection as they scramble in front of him. Puck bounces back to the blue line. Now the Canadian team at full strength. There's a shot off to the side. They didn't get it out, though. Another drive, a sweet shot. And it seemed to bounce off the post. It's hard to say. Finally, Canada clears the center ice as the Soviets put terrific pressure on. Yakushev goes over the line. The teams are full strength. Lutsenko shooting it into the corner. Maltsev is stopped on the boards. Reese shot it back to the goal. Clark goes after it. They're jamming in on the side, and the siren goes to end the first 10 minutes. So they change hands. With the score, Canada 3 and the Soviets 3. This is Game 7 from Moscow. From the face-off, the puck is shot in the Soviet zone. Clark going into the corner, trying to dig it out from the side. Henderson going to help him out. Ellis is in front, waiting for a pass. Mishakov fell. Maltsev falls against the holds it against the board, but not for long. And then gets jammed in against the boards, and the play is finally stopped with Clark ending up on his knee. 9:32 remaining in the game. 3-3 is the tie score. Henderson standing by. Clark is now replaced by Peter Mahovlich at center ice. Pass back to Bergman, who shot it into the crowd. So Peter Mahovlich is centering this line of Ellis and Henderson. So there have been a number of changes during the game. Clark has been working his heart out there and apparently was a little tired and getting relief for the moment. Bergman and Park, the defense for Canada. And they're starting to move the defense fairly well up. Peter Mahovlich doing a little talking there. And he's facing off with Mishakov. Mishakov, a very sturdy performer. Now Maltsev nearly went flying off Henderson's skate that time. Vasiliev going in back of the goal for the Soviet. Played it in front to Raglan. Raglan shot it up to the blue line. Here's a pass to Maltsev. He's coming in on the corner after Bergman had missed him. He's trying to center out. He does. Vasiliev plays it over on the wing. Raglan shot it. Michalov shoots. And Tony Esposito came up with that one. with the puck in his right glove on a great save there. And Tony Esposito has been one of the outstanding players, no doubt, for Canada.
A good glove save here by Tony Esposito. He picks it right out of the air. Shadrin parked again, right at the top of the goal crease. Very dangerous area. Esposito makes a fine save.
Ready for the face-off to the right of the Canadian goal. A 3-all tie. 8:59 remaining in the game. Canada to the right, Soviets to the left. Pass is carried by Gilbert. Park goes in to help. Gets it out. Gilbert racing after it. Kuskin gets back in time to recover. Played it over on the wing. Mihailov is turning now. Mihailov gets away from Park at center ice. Over the line, on into the corner. Blinoff is over on this side in the corner. Blinoff, 9, is given a jolt on the board. He's still being shoved around a bit. Puck didn't go out, though. It went off his skate. Blinoff tried to pass. Bergman cleared it off the boards to center. Gantov gets it to Mihailov, intercepted by Park. Another try for Gusev, turning at his own blue line. Over on the right side to center to Petrov. Petrov stopped, and the Canadian team break out. Dennis Hall took a shot, and Tretjak had it caught there when it went way up in the air off his pad. So that Dennis Hall seen going at him there with 8 minutes, 1 second remaining.
Canadian professional football will return to television Wednesday, September the 27th, as the Montreal Alouettes are in Winnipeg, while on Saturday, September the 30th, the Toronto Argonauts host the Edmonton Eskimos. Check your local listings for the times and the stations.
Ready for the face-off. Here's a mix-up with Anderson being shoved around by Parisi. They keep sticking close to one another. Canada's had 2 penalties in this last period. Now a quick pass at center ice. The Soviets come in with Anderson. Passing in front is knocked out over the line. Soviets take over. Shadrin getting it back to Lyapkin. Lyapkin, 25 on that left wing, shoots it into and to one side of the net. Esposito cleared to the corner. Savard failed to get it out. Soviets with Shadrin forced into the corner, allowing Anderson to dig it out. Phil Esposito recovered, going down, cleared it over on the left side. Here's the shot by Esposito, was dead on. Into the corner for Cournoyer, back to the net. They're trying to dig it out from the side, and the Soviets get a 3-man break. Coming up fast at center ice. Anderson going in on the right side, gets turned around, lost the puck, and it was cleared out there by Parisi. Parisi, Cournoyer, and Phil Esposito out there as the Soviets change their line again as they come over the line. Esposito stole that puck, lobbed it over on the left wing. Cournoyer gets it to Parisi, back to Esposito, who golfed one against the screen. Cournoyer tried to pass it out in front, was knocked over. The Soviets come racing up a long forward pass, and the Soviet player was checked from behind. That looked like an offside as Mikulov was going in, but they didn't call it. Down the left side for Cournoyer. He passed behind him. The Soviet player fell. Esposito gets in with a shot. It's blocked, kept in by Savard. It came out and knocked in again, offside.
There's no way that wasn't an offside. Foster Mikulov went in over the blue line, skating backwards, and he dragged the puck in.
There's the Soviet sports announcer going to work on the boards there. And it's a 3-all tie with 6:18 left in the game. Canada must win this one to stay in the hunt. Puck goes on the left side. Mikulov covering Paul Henderson. Now Pat Stapleton picks his way over to Henderson, trying to go in on the left wing. Clark took a whack at it. The Soviets break out at center. One man coming down. Maltsev, quite a speedster. He stopped, made the pass, blocked by Henderson. Henderson sticks with him, and it's passed over on the far wing to Ellis. Ellis goes over the line. He's taken out of the play. Mishakov is forced back to the Soviet goal. Here's their pass in front of the net. The great chance there by Ellis. As the pass came out in front, he went after it and had a backhand, but Tretьяка stopped it. It's the Soviets coming over the Canadian line as they loosen up here and open up in every way. They're jamming into the corner here. Henderson watching his man. Back to the blue line, back to Vasiliev. A long shot. Pat Stapleton stopped it. Ellis racing on the right wing, gets the pass. Goes into the corner with Vasiliev after him. He's draped on the board and holds it there for a face-off with 5 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the game. Canada 3, Soviets 3. And a complete change of players. 2 goals have been scored in this third period. Gilbert from Rattel and Hull at 2:23. And at 5:15, Yakushev tying it up from Olmsted. And Yakushev has scored 2. And Phil Esposito has scored 2 for Canada. Puck goes sliding right down into the Canadian zone. They carry it over the line. Hart is trying to get loose. Leanoff got that puck from him. Cleared right onto the Canadian player's stick. It's brought out by Rattel to center ice. Stopped by Petrov. Mihailov to Petrov. Going in with Leanoff on the right wing to the soft side. 4:38 left in the game. A 3-all tie. Canada 3 and the Soviets 3. And they're playing desperation hockey. It's hard, but it has been went as fast as other games in the series to see the television cameras. All manned by Russian crews. A forward pass on the left side. Rolls over the line. And Gilbert was unable to get loose. The Soviets sent 3 men back. Carrying over the line. Leanoff coming in back to the goal. Kate taken in on the board by Park. Squeezed right out of the play. He failed to get out on the first try. Now Rattel in front of his own net is chased in back to the goal. Shot it on the boards. It slides out at center. A race for it. Dennis Hull carrying into the corner with Kuskin blocking him. The pass is intercepted. Is knocked back on the side. Rattel lost it. And the Soviets break out again at center ice. Yakushev down the right wing. 4 of them are up. Petrov getting in position. 1 man in front. There's a shot by Gusev. Stopped by Esposito. They jam against the board. A real jamming session. Elbows go high. Here's Bergman shoving the referee. Now they're swinging at each other back to the net. And there's a real rumpus going on there. Everybody is shoving. Esposito's got Yakushev by the neck. Everybody's got a hold of every other person. And a few punches were rather tossed around a bit. Lichenko stands back there. Yakushev given a headlock. And Cournoyer is threatening on the side there. And the crowd, the Soviet crowd, are doing their usual whistling. And the Canadians were setting up quite a roar. It's a 3-all tie with 3 minutes and 34 seconds remaining in the game. With the score, Canada 3 and the Soviets 3. This is Game 7 from Moscow. Well, they finally parted company down there. There's Peter Mahovlik. Cournoyer just picking up a glove. Meantime, Vasiliev, number 6, standing beside him. Now he's left alone. He's the only one left. And the fan is either talking to him. You see that mesh there, and it acts as a springboard for the puck. Every time the puck hits it, it bounces out about 30 feet. There's Mihailov, who's in the penalty box, number 13. And they have to assess all the penalties yet. We'll make sure Mihailov is the first one in, but he won't be the last. Petrov is over there talking to both referees along with Phil Esposito. Parisi is Alfanta, 15. He's the Czech. Bill Esposito is either getting a lesson in the languages or it'll be roughing penalties likely. But there wasn't an awful lot to it. Outside it was like some of the lining up you see over here in Moscow. Every time you do anything, you have to line up. And players must be getting that idea because they certainly lined up there, and a couple of them lined each other up. In the meantime, all the players stand around there by the penalty box, getting a larger crowd all the time. And Mihailov is the only one we know is going to get a 5-minute roughing penalty. Let's see what happens to the rest of them. He surely can't be the only one. But it was really, I don't think there were too many punches thrown. Bergman will likely get the same kind of a penalty, and that'll likely be 5 minutes. So I guess after all that mix-up, and everybody seemed to get a poke at somebody, it looks as if Bergman will be off with Mihailov, and they'll both be major penalties, so they'll be off for the rest of the game. And they'll be 5 aside. Now Bergman is coming over to the penalty box now, and you hear the reaction of the Soviet fans. And then you can also hear the roar from the Canadian fans, "Go Canada, go." Bergman in the penalty box, along with Mihailov, both 5 minutes for roughing. So after all that commotion, two of them end up in the penalty box, 3:34 left. 16:26. The time of the double penalty.
Jerry Bergman, number 2, Team Canada, 5-minute penalty for roughing. Forrest Canada, number 30, U.S. guard, also 5-minute penalty for roughing.
Yes, a double penalty for roughing, 5 minutes major. 16:26 in the game. And they face off, playing 5 aside. LaPointe lays it out to the center ice. Bill Esposito shot a long one at Tretjak. Into the corner for Parisi, who's fighting to get that puck out there. He still has it. Fighting with Lyapkin. Now Luchenko goes in back to the other corner. Dumped it out. And the Soviet in possession. With Shadron to center ice. On this right with Yakashev, a hot shot. It bounced in the air when Esposito stopped it. Cleared to the corner. Canadians try to get that puck out. Failed on the first try. And it bounces off Parisi over the boards into the crowd. And Parisi and Bill Esposito are telling the referees where the faceoff should be. He's going to mark it inside first. Now they move it out. 2:50 left in the game. A 3-all tie. 4:16 left in the penalty. So that means they're out for the game. So they'll finish up at least 5 aside. The face-off, the puck comes to center ice. Nikolov moving in on the right wing, cuts in on the defense. Fooled the point, but he came back there to cover him. From the left side, Maltsev is stopped. Henderson trying to break out on that wing there, couldn't get the puck to behave. And the ice seems a bit sticky. A quick pass to Maltsev. Maltsev on the right wing, makes a shot, comes in front of the defense, a screen shot. And Tony Esposito was right there. LaPointe made sure he gave the Soviet player a good jolt there, who was standing near the doorstep. It was Nikolov.
That was a good shot there by Maltsev. Maltsev has gotten more shots on the Canadian goal than any other of the Soviet players in this series.
All set for the face-off in the Canadian zone. They're 5 aside. 2:20 left in the game. A 3-all tie. puck goes into the corner. Lapointe shooting it back to the net to Savard. Savard is trying to get out. Lobbed it ahead. Henderson going down. Got to the defense. Goes right in and going score! Henderson right through the score for Canada. A beautiful goal by Paul Henderson.
Henderson makes a beautiful move on this goal, and he's being mobbed by his teammates. But this is an absolutely beautiful move by Henderson, and the goal judge was a little slow in putting the light on, but there's no question that puck was right up into the top and the back of the net, and Tretjak really had no chance on that quick little maneuver by Paul Henderson. We can see Henderson moving here, and he just flips it right up top. Tretjak had no chance on it.
Paul Henderson was the hero on that one. He made a beautiful play. He seemed to have Soviet players dragging him all the way. And now Canada takes the lead, 4-3, with 2:06 left in the game. The goal was scored at 17:54, and they were 5 aside. Now the puck comes into the Canadian zone. Rattel covers on the board. Lachenko is trying to knock it over. Petrov gets it. Took his shot wide. It bounces over to Liafkin. Liafkin took his shot. Stopped by Esposito. Canadian team carry out slowly to center ice. Rattel shot it into the Soviet zone. Liafkin going back. 1:38 left as the puck comes out in front. Either Cody and Yakushev was stopped there by Esposito right in front of the net. Pat Stapleton breaks out for Canada center ice. Going up with Ellis, and is called offside. And Tretjak was knocked over by Ellis's shot, and he's lying on the ice. He jumped in the air, and he fell head first on that terrific drive by Ellis.
This shot by Ellis doesn't hit Tretjak in the head, I'm almost sure of that, but it just about rips his shoulder off. A high-rising slap shot. Tretjak takes it right up in the shoulder and the neck, almost identical to the one that Tony Esposito took earlier in the game.
From the face-off, the puck goes to center ice. Shot into the Soviet zone. Want to be close right to the end here. Yakushev going into the corner, falls. Here the Canadian right in front. It was Pat Stapleton getting a chance. Forced back at the blue line. Played it to the corner. Esposito's waiting for a pass. They have to stop at 58 seconds left in the game.
With a minute left to go in the game here, Foster, the key to Team Canada is to hang on to the puck. Don't give the Soviets the puck in this last minute. And we saw Jean-Paul Parise fall down with the puck, and he smothered it for a whistle. Team Canada wants to gain control and hold on to it as much of this 58 seconds as they can.
58 seconds remaining in the game. Canada leading 4-3 on Paul Henderson's goal at 17:54 with Mikhailov and Bergman in the penalty box. It's still 5 aside. Esposito knocks it to the wing. It goes to the corner. The Soviets starting back. Mikhailov is waiting for a pass from Maltsev. Maltsev falls all over himself. And now Vasiliev plays it at center ice. Maltsev over onto the wing. They're closing in. The puck is loose. Here's Maltsev shooting. And Esposito made the save. A pass is right under Vasiliev. It's partially stopped. Stopped again as Canadians throw themselves right at the puck. Mikhailov is stopped and the puck rolls out at center ice. 21 seconds left. Soviets on the move. Vasiliev over onto the far wing. Across the line for Gusev. Intercepted. Whitefield to clear it out. Here's another chance. Vassiliev shoots. And again, Esposito stopped that one. It's off on the board. Mikhailov stared it back down the line. 1 second left. And the game is over. Canada has come through. With a tremendous struggle here, Esposito ended up on the ice. tremendous style, just pulling his way right through to beat Tretjak from close in. It looked for a long time as if it was going to be a real stalemate, but the Canadian team came through, and now they're still in the hunt with a glorious chance here to pull it out on the last game in Moscow. At the moment, they're shaking hands. It was a 2-all tie at the end of the first period. There was no scoring in the second. And then in the third period, which is really dramatic, Gilbert scored from Mattel and Hall at 2:23. At 5:15, Yakovlev tied it up from Maltsev. The Canadian rooters are going wild over there. And then finally, Paul Henderson made a brilliant effort, and he's been one of the stars in the whole series, scoring at 17:54 to win the game for Canada. And it looked for a time as if Canada might blow it on the basis of numerous penalties in which the Soviets were able to score 2 goals while the Canadian team were shorthanded.
Well, Foster, there's a look at Canada's 2 stars as selected by top Soviet hockey authorities. Bill White for his tremendous defensive play, and Phil Esposito. They'll be receiving a miniature samovar, and that'll be presented to them by the president of the Soviet Ice Hockey Federation, Georgy Kozlov. And they get a tremendous ovation, a well-deserved one as they leave. Presenting the traditional rings that have been specially designed for this series and presented by the CBC and CTV television networks, along with the sponsors who bring you these telecasts, with Mr. Sillap, who is here as a minister from the province of Ontario.
With the final score, Canada 4 and the Soviets 3. This is Game 7 from Moscow.